Hey, what's up, everybody? So the prices are coming back to life. We finally see some green on the board, and it's looking pretty nice. I wasn't gonna do a video today. Man, I woke up and I felt like crap. But here we are. We're gonna do it anyway. Um, so yeah, it looks great. Theta is back to its sort of this range that we had in here, right? And the fractal, I have to say, has worked out flawlessly, if you want to know the truth, right? And what fractal I'm referring to would be this one right over here. I mean, you could use VeChain, you can use, I mean, there's so many charts out there that have the same type of fractal. So we've looked at theta, so we'll just look at VeChain, and you can kind of see basically the similarities in here, right? You got a three-wave move there, you come back down, you hit the high, you slam down, you go sideways, you slam down, you go sideways, and then you get that liquidity grab, right? So we got our liquidity grab. Now let's take a look at like just a random coin here. Let's go, we'll say AVAX. All right. So same thing with AVAX. I mean, you can see something also very similar here, right? And like I pointed out in the previous couple videos, I've been saying, hey, this could be the bottom. This could be, in the vicinity of the bottom, right? Obviously not financial advice. I could be wrong, but so far it's looking actually really good, right? Because you could see here, I mean, just look at VeChain back in the day. I mean, it doesn't even have to be VeChain. Let's look at another chart here. Let's go to, I don't know. Let's see here. We'll use total 2. So you can see total 2 is a little bit different. It was more of a running flat. This is more of an expanded flat, right? So let's see if there's anything. Let's see. Let's check out ADA here. ADA also, look at that, a running flat, similar to total 3. What about Dogecoin? Dogecoin as well. Let's see here. Let's go to flow. Okay, so here's a good example as well is flow, right? You had even back in the day here, right? You had 3 up, boom, boom, 3 up, boom, boom, right? Come down, you flag out, you come down, you flag out. You hit that liquidity pocket, Man, I hope you guys bought the dip, because that could have been a buy of a lifetime right there. So anyways, I mean, it just one of those things where now we have to wait and see how it plays out. The most important thing was this liquidity grab. We came right down here. We took that liquidity. Same thing here. We came right down. We took that liquidity, and look what AVAX did. It fired to the upside. But not just AVAX. I mean, you can see all of them, really. But oh my goodness, look at XRP. XRP is so close to breaking out. This thing could literally break out, I mean, today or tomorrow or sometime this week or maybe even next week, but it looks really close. And I can't believe just how close we actually are. So let's take a look here at the Fibonacci level and see where exactly we are. This is actually the first time I'm looking at it. Whoa, so we're right at the 786, guys. I mean, we already cleared through the 702. And we have 17 minutes to go for the 4-hour candle. So all we have to do in the next 17 minutes is close above that 702, and the probabilities increase that we'll break above the 786 and the 886, right? So we're getting close. Man, I thought we could probably flag out a little bit in here before going up, but that immediately shot to the upside. Look at this three-wave pullback. So we have to go back and we have to review so that we can learn, right? And what did we learn? Well, we were very bullish in here. We were building an accumulation structure. We broke out. We had a three-wave pullback all the way back down, right? A breakout, back test, and then a V bottom, right? So we back tested right there. And yeah, I basically said, hey, this is looking pretty good if we can hold it. And sure enough, we did. And we actually came all the way back up to the prior area. You could actually see a little bit of an inverse head and shoulders here. We broke above the neckline. We came back. We back tested it. And now look at where we're at. So it just goes to show you got to be patient. You got to stick to your guns. You can't be panic selling. You can't get succumbed to the fear, right? And, you know, understand the risk because it could have easily turned around. But as I've been saying, I don't think it would turn around based off the structure that we see. And what that structure is a massive impulse. We have 3 down, we have 3 up, and we have 5 down. So this could be like an ABC, right? And then we had a 1, and then a 2, and then a 1, and then a 2, and then a 1, and then a 2. So this is a nest, a hornet's nest of 1, 2s, right? And this could be very deadly to the upside, right? That's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is maybe you have a triangle here. Both, by the way, are very bullish. So A, B, C, D, and then E. And then you break out, and then you back test, and now we're ready to fly. So which one is it? It really doesn't matter too much because both counts say we're going higher. Now, what could be the bearish idea? We could still have a potential bearish idea here. And when I mean bearish, I mean short-term bearish, right? And what that would be is this could be a diagonal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If that's a diagonal, then we're most likely going to come all the way back down. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you get A, B, C. So essentially what it is a 1, and then you come back, get a 2. So this whole thing is a 1, 2. And then we go up. So if that happens, it's going to suck, but, you know, it is what it is, right? What would suck even worse, and the reason I don't think that's going to happen is because of the placement of the other coins here. So, for example, if we look at SHIB, right, and, like, let's put up SHIB, and then we can put up render. Look at this, guys. I mean, this is beautiful, right? I got to even take a screenshot because it looks so nice. So what we can do is we can take this yellow area here. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? And then you can kind of use your little top there. There's your little 2 tops. Boom, boom, right? And then you actually have this little consolidation phase right in there. Boom, boom, right? And then you have your liquidity grab right there. Liquidity grab right there, right? And then what happens is you shoot right back to the upside. So maybe that's what we're doing now, right? Simple enough. So yeah, I mean, the most important thing is holding or testing this area, because what happens is, you know, I've even felt bullish too, but I have to remind myself it's the fractal, it's playing out, right? So it's tricky. It's mind over matter. So if you look, for example, at this here, and you take a zone, right, and you put that zone right there, that's where most people are looking at, right? You break out, you hold, you come back up, you hold, you come back up, you hold, you come back up, come back down, you hold, and then you come back up, and then you break through it, and then now everyone says, oh my God, we just broke it. But what happened is we were going below it for what? For liquidity. Why? Because people have their stop losses under here. People's margin calls are under there. And traders, institutional smart money, they target those liquidity pockets so that they can fill their orders. So what happens is we go below, right? And everyone initiates a short. They think, okay, I'm going to go short now. And the smart money, they actually go long, but they need everyone to go short so that they can fill their orders, right? So they get their orders filled, and then it immediately comes back up and it takes them out. It wipes them out. It liquidates them, right? And then, so they're kind of confused, what's happening here. Oh, we're just coming back up to retest this area, and then we're going to keep going down. But what happens is you actually just break out, right? And then it just destroys their position. So we are actually doing the same thing here as we did back over here. So we should get a big move coming out, right? I mean, it's never a for sure thing, but it looks pretty dang good, right? And now if you look at this area right here, you can see there's your liquidity grab. So now what's very important, since we already went down there, now we cannot, I repeat, we cannot go back down there again. So here's your area right here, which is approximately, this is render here, so $6.64. We cannot go below that. If we come back below it again, it's just not going to look right. I mean, it's not a deal breaker because we didn't break that low, but yeah, we want to stay above this low here. So everybody's kind of a little bit bullish again, but I would warn a little bit of caution. Let's look at Litecoin here. Look at Litecoin, exactly the same, right? So if we go to the 4-hour chart, or actually, let's go over here. And what we have is something similar again. So you get 3 down. So you get 3 up, 3 down, and then you should get 5 up. 3 up, 3 down, and then you should get 5 up, right? So yeah, now we have an idea of what it could look like. Now, but we have to be a little bit cautious here. And why do I say that? Well, most likely it would be a wave 1. So we don't know where this wave's going to end, but more than likely we're going to pull back. We're going to get a big pullback. It could be shallow, right? So if we look at what happened over here, you can kind of see this little area. We hit the low, and we come all the way up back to those highs. We come back to these highs. And then we actually have an ABC pullback all the way back down to here. So we would have an ABC pullback somewhere around there. And that area would be, let's see, that area would be around the golden zone between the 50 and the 618, which isn't that bad. So if we did manage to get back up here with Litecoin, just using Litecoin as an example, we could see somewhere in the neighborhood of about $98. So we could go all the way up to like 105, 106, and then pull back all the way back to 90, 97, 98, and then go up, right? And not just Litecoin, but if we look at Fetch here, maybe we get back up to here, and then we pull back down to the golden zone, and then continue higher. So it's possible. So, am I buying right now? No, I'm not buying. Why am I not buying? Because we've already went up. We should have bought earlier. and I did. I've been buying this, and when you buy it, it's not supposed to feel good. It's supposed to feel bad, right? Because if it feels good when you buy, then you're not buying it right. Your instincts, you got to go the opposite of what your instincts say. So if you're crashing here, your instincts are like, no, this is bad. But that's when you reverse it. And it's kind of challenging to do, but if you are confident in the structure and the fractals and whatever, then no risk, no reward. So cheers to the people who actually bought down in here. So yeah, we're looking pretty good. Anyways, now we can say for sure, pretty much for certain here, that this is like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And then we didn't get any divergence or anything, but that's okay, right? Because we just really want to hold these lows in here. And I do like this candle. You have a big, nice, long wick. And so, yeah, we have to see how it all plays out. Now, for me to buy, what would I need to see? Well, let's take a look here. Let's look at maybe, see, Bohm had a really big crash. I mean, it went all the way down here. So it significantly had a big dump. So maybe that's not such a good example. Let's see, ICP. ICP is a good example. So I can either buy now, or I can wait till we get back up here and then wait for a pullback and then buy. You're probably going to get in the same price. So it's probably, or you can risk, let's see here. Like when we came back to here, right? We came up and we didn't quite make it to the top. We came here and then we pulled back and then we made it to the top. And then we ended up back testing it anyways. So it's all about, kind of dollar cost averaging into a position you feel comfortable with. But yeah, these prices are still really good prices. So if you're buying spot positions for the longer term, right? Not financial advice, but I think these are really good prices. Personally, I would probably wait to see a little bit of consolidation, or if we don't, we continue pumping. We could just pump our way out of there. You know what I mean? So, when you look at the small time frames here, it's kind of difficult to read. I mean, you're kind of just channeling up here. Looks like a series of running flats. So I would like to see it actually pop the high here and get back up here, and then maybe pull back into this zone, like retest it and then continue. That's kind of how I would like to see it. Let's see, Jupiter. I'm just kind of looking at a bunch of random coins just to get a sense of the overall market. Yeah, you kind of got a little bit of a pullback here coming. Nothing really helpful. Theta looks pretty good. I mean, look how impulsive that was. 1, 2. I mean, that looks like a 5-wave move to me, and you're right back at this resistance area. So I would like to see a little bit of a pullback, maybe retest the bottom of this area, and then continue higher. So if I'm going to buy Theta, that's probably what I would wait for. Unless, if we break out, then I would wait for a retest of this high, or back test. But, you probably have some bearish divergence here on the smaller time frames. It kind of looks maybe like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like a diagonal here. Maybe we get a pullback. So small time frames, it's a little bit. I mean, we went up quite a bit, over the last several hours. So, yeah, a pullback is fine. Now, Monero really hasn't even flinched, right? Like if we compare Monero to, like, let's say, I don't know, SHIB. So look at the difference here. Actually, let me put this on the 4-hour chart. So, you know, they both consolidated, they both broke out, they both, you know, had a little bit of a pullback, a little bit of a hit to the high, they both came back down. The difference is we're kind of like higher highs, higher lows, you know, we're kind of channeling up. This is kind of like a 3 down and a 3 up, a 3 down, and maybe we get a 5 up. So a little bit more stable here with Monero, but I'm still really, really liking Monero. Simply based off the structure of the chart, nothing else. And here's some targets that I've been looking at here. So, you know, anywhere, the first target would be 770. The second target, you know, around that $800 mark. Third target around that $1,000 mark. And the fourth target, maybe $1,100 to $1,300. And then up to $1,500, even up to $1,800. And it could go even higher than that. I don't know. We'll have to see how it looks. So let's look at the coin market cap. So it's number 33. That's my lucky number. Interesting. Okay. So what I really like here is the tokenomics. Number one, we got a relatively easygoing market cap, 3.8 billion, not so bad. We're in the top 50, so that's pretty good. There's liquidity there, but it's not so high like an XRP. But here's the really good part. The total supply is 18.45 million. So basically 18.5 million Moneros. The circulating supply is also 18.5, meaning there's no inflation, right? There's not going to be any more Monero. All the Monero is out there. That's it, right? There's going to be no more Monero. So whatever's out there in the market today will be forever. And that's what I like, right? No inflation. Where when you look at XRP, let's take a look at XRP. How much more? Okay, so the total supply, you're looking at 100 billion. The circulating supply, you're at about 57.5 billion. So we'll say 58 billion. So that means there are still 42 billion coins out there in existence or in the escrow. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I'm just saying, like, if that escrow were to be dumped on the market today, it would just crush the price. Probably really bad. And I don't think that's going to be the case. I think they unlock. So you have 1 billion tokens released every month. Well, it's not too bad, especially if the market is absorbing it, right? And we can see that. You know, so look, Ripple and XRP didn't have their design based off our needs. They designed it based off what is economically feasible for their business model, like, you know, cross-border payments, you know, central banks, whatever they do behind, you know, as far as their business dealings. That's how they go about doing it. And I think it's a strategic move long term, because if you look at the price of Monero, it's actually the same price. It's actually the same thing as XRP, right? So if we go to XRP, let me find my other chart right there, right? It's actually the same. Let me get that right there. Okay, there we go. So look at that. I mean, they're essentially the same chart. So this is why, guys, I'm extremely bullish on Monero. I probably never thought I would say this, but just based off the chart, I mean, look at this. You have your reaccumulation structure, and we're just barely breaking out. Look at XRP's accumulation structure, right? So if you look at this structure here, you know, that's a lot of months right there. So let's see, how many months is that exactly from the bottom here? Roughly, that's about 30 months. So that's 30 billion XRP was released into the market during that time. So people say, oh, the price doesn't do anything. Actually, the price was going up throughout this whole time. We didn't see it because the tokens were being released, right? So if you look at the price, the average price in here, it's what? You know, 50, 60 cents, right? So, but 30 billion coins, remember XRP has a max supply of 100 billion. Basically, you had 30% of the total supply released during this time of the reaccumulation point in the cycle. That's incredible. And the price held up. And not only did it hold up, but it actually was rising, right? Because we could have saw, if nobody was, people go, oh, nobody's buying XRP. But actually a lot of people were. They were absorbing 1 billion tokens a month, right? So we should have saw the price going down like this if nobody was buying XRP, because the supply would increase. But the supply was, yeah, it was increasing, but we saw it actually going up. So people were absorbing the supply more than 1 billion coins a month. Now, when you look at Monero, Monero has no coins to deal with, right? It has basically all of its supply out there. That's another reason why I think it could be extremely bullish. So I'm not a fundamental guy when it comes to Monero. I know it's a privacy coin, but this thing is looking magnificent. So I'll give you an example. If we come here and we go all the way down and we hit the 1618, and that comes in around, let's say, 750 bucks, and that gives us a percentage value of approximately 265%, which I think is very doable. And that's not even nothing, right? That's only 2.5x. I think it's going to do way more than that, but I'm just showing you an example here. Now we'll do the same thing with XRP, and we'll go up to the 1618, and that comes in at $5.30, right around there, and that gives us a percentage value of less than 100%, guys. So one is a 1x, the other one is a 2.5x. One has no coins, no inflation. The other one has 1 billion a month. Now, I'm not saying it matters a lot, right? And then one has a much higher market cap. But one has way better utility, and one has Ripple, and one has, you know, Brad Garlinghouse, Trump, all that stuff, right? I mean, just look at the picture. Brad Garlinghouse and Trump hanging out together. I mean, that's speaking some big volumes here. So, yeah, I think I might do a little bit of rotating. So, if XRP can have a full-fledged breakout and get up to like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 bucks, and Monero is still kind of trapped in here, I would then rotate some into Monero with the potential possibility of it doing something similar, right? So we'll see how that plays out. But anyways, that's pretty much it on these two charts here. Let's look at the smaller time frame one more time. Smaller time frames are going to be more difficult. You can see, you know, we're kind of riding on that all-time high in here. You know, we we broke out, we back test, and we're kind of building an accumulation structure. It looks actually really good. You got a rise, a crash, a retrace, reaccumulation. Now you're going sideways. Basically, it's a fractal within itself. And now I don't care too much for the rising trend. It looks like a right angle broadening wedge or something like that. One of those things. Not really a fan of those. I would prefer it being totally horizontal, or I mean vertical, or no, horizontal, and then us breaking out of it. So we really need to break this trend line, right? So the best thing Monero can do is probably kind of come down a little bit and retest that area, and then kind of build a little bit of a base sideways, and then break out. I think that would be the best thing Monero can do. Or just freaking break out. I don't know. But structurally, it looks good. Bitcoin dominance actually is looking better. I like it. You know, it looks like a three-wave pullback. It looks like you got a potential for something like this. Or if we do come up and hit the high, it might be worse pain in the short term, but I think it would be better long term. Because one of them would continue going up and then going back down. So it's just all relative to when and how. Another one you want to keep your eye on is ADA. I think this one might do very well. It's one of the best performing coins back in 2021. It had a pretty significant base in here, had a very significant breakout. It is an American blockchain, right? So for Trump, American first purposes, right? We do have a wave 1, a 2, and a 1, and a 2. Also, this could be a 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, it looks pretty good. The only thing I don't like too much is on this time frame. It kind of looks like it needs something like that. Or if we zoom in a little bit, actually looks way better. You have a three-wave pullback. So this could be 3 down, this could be 3 up, and then this itself could be 3 down. So that could be like a truncated WXY, right? And then maybe we kind of go sideways a little bit and then break out. So you have a rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation. We go sideways and then we break out. That would be the best thing for ADA. I don't think it's going to break out today or tomorrow. I think it's going to take a little bit of time. So the best thing we can do is kind of build a little bit of a base in here, coming down from a retracement. Like, let's look at Theta Fuel here. So Theta Fuel, exactly, right? So you have a pump, a three-way pullback, and now you're just going sideways. That's perfect. That is the best thing Theta Fuel can do, right? You had a little bit of a pump here, but it came right back down. I probably wouldn't even look at that seriously. So yeah, I want to see it get going pretty soon. And then as far as Theta goes, you know, pull back and then keep it moving. AVAX, you can see AVAX grab that liquidity, pull back, keep it moving. I mean, they're all going to be pretty much similar here. Axelar looks a little different. It kind of reminds me of a diagonal here. You kind of have like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then this looks to me like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like a 7-wave crashing structure, or like a complex double zigzag or what have you. You know, you come back down to these lows in here. So you just look at it as a 1 and a 2. And then hopefully keep it moving. Now Bitcoin, let's go to Bitcoin here. So Bitcoin, I love it because we took this high. So that's what we wanted to see. Now, the dangerous part about this is it could be an expanded flat. And that could be very dangerous. So, for example, if this is a wave 1, and then we have A, B, C for a wave 2, that could be an A, B, C, an expanded flat, and then we go down for 3, 4, and then 5. So just be on the lookout for that. Hopefully that's not the case. Remember, we were looking at a fractal here. Look at 265, guys. XRP, it's getting higher. Let's go. If you look at Matic, where's Matic at? That's fine. And then we got to go to the small time frame. Let's go to the 30-minute. And then what we're going to do is go like this. I think that was it, right? Was that it? Oh, that was Aave. Okay, this is Matic. Yeah, so I need this chart right here. Okay, yeah, that's the chart. Okay, so we could be seeing, look at this, guys. I haven't seen anybody on the planet share this fractal. Which is a good thing, right? Because if everyone sees the same fractal, it's not that good. So with Matic inverted, right? This is an inverted chart. So you have this move up, right? You have that divergence here. So essentially it's kind of like a rounded top. You know, you got these little peaks and valleys, kind of like these head and shoulders. And it looked, you know, bearish, right? It looks bearish. It looks like it's going to break down. But you can see over here, it actually exploded to the upside. So this could be some type of boom, 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 3-wave pullback. So we essentially got it, right? So we had 3 down, right? Same thing here. We had 3 down. And then we shot up 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we exploded. So maybe this is a 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we explode, and then it crashes later on. So what will be interesting is, where did Matic go? Well, if I take a retracement here, and I just give a rough estimate here, it went up to the 2. Okay? So if we did the same thing with Bitcoin, we could literally see a potential top for Bitcoin that comes right around the 2, which would be about $127,000. And that seems fair. That seems right. That seems exactly like I would expect. And my all-time high way back in the day was between 84,000 and 125 or 120 or 125. I can't remember, but so 127 is not that far off. The 1618 comes in around 120. So I think we can hit 120. So yeah, let's see if we could get something like that. So anyways, that would be Bitcoin. I think that's it. Let's see here. I didn't get to the comments or the request, but I will soon enough. Let's take a look at XRP again here. Small time frames. It's looking good. We have our impulse. We have a 3-wave pullback. So let's see if we can keep it moving here. And then we also, you can see our inverse head and shoulders, right? You could see it right there. So what's the measured move of that inverse head and shoulders? So if I take it from here to there, roughly, and then I take that and I move it right there. Oh, look at that. It actually gets us right to 280. And where was that line from? Let me see. I'm not even sure where that line was from. Oh, I think it was from a fib level. Let me see here. Yeah, it was the 886. Oh, perfect. So it's actually going to get us to the 886 at 280. Yeah, man. If we can get to 280, I think we would do pretty dang well. And it's only Tuesday, right? So we're still early in the week. I'd like to see what, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday brings. I think we could have a breakout, guys, for XRP. Maybe this week, maybe like Thursday or Friday. Very possible. And this thing could literally get up to $3.50, basically the all-time high, within a matter of a week or two. We can literally see XRP at an all-time high within a week or two. Okay, so that's how fast this thing can happen. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it's possible. I mean, we're in that ballpark of where we should be, right? So, by the way, the 4-hour candle closed, and it did close above the 702. Look at that. We had a 4-hour above the 702. Beautiful. What about its little brother, XLM? So XLM, yeah, it's doing okay. It's a little bit of a lagger, but it's still doing way better than the other altcoins. Let's see if we compare it to XRP here. Let's get rid of that. And then we'll go up to the 12-hour. Yeah, I think it looks... Actually, I'm actually kind of more bullish on XLM right now, because it has this three-way pullback here. It looks like it's flagging out. Whereas XRP looks more like a diagonal. I just hope it's not a diag. Because if it's a diag, then you're going to get a big ABC, probably back down to 215 again, and then go up, which would suck. But whatever. Or worst case scenario, this is 3 down, this is 3 up, and then we get 3 back down, and then we go up. So it's a bigger correction. Hopefully that's not the case. But yeah, XLM looks pretty good. So if we zoom in a little bit here on this structure, that's a little bit of a tricky one because it could be a couple things. You kind of have this flat here, this three-way move down, kind of like that, right? And then you kind of have this like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like a diag. And then you have a three-way pullback. That could be a 1, that could be a 2. This could also be a 1, and maybe we're getting a little bit of a 2, and then we start to go up into a 3 and a 4. But it looks good because you also have this sort of inverse head and shoulders potentially working here, right? You got a shoulder, you got a head, maybe you get another shoulder here. The measured move of that would be approximately above the all-time or above that swing high at 66 cents. So and then what we can do as well is take a trend-based fib extension from the bottom to the top, back down to the bottom. And look at that. It gets us right to the 1618. So there's confluence there. So 65 cents is my target for XLM. I got 2 points of confluence. Now, I don't know when it's going to hit that. So some other ideas could be that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That could be an A. This could be a B. And then that could be like a C. And then we're going to get going. Or this is an A. And then we have a B, a complex B. And then we come down for C. And then we get going. So it's got to work itself out in here. Put it that way. CRV looks pretty dang good too. I missed on that. I missed that one. I didn't get to buy that one. But yeah, it looks good. I'm afraid if I buy it, it's just going to end up coming back down. Yeah, we're right at resistance here. So the smart thing to do would be either, number one, wait for a pullback, buy the dip, or wait for it to break out and then wait for it to come back and backtest, then buy the dip. Now, if it breaks out and it doesn't backtest and it keeps going, then you just missed it. You know what I mean? So you got to weigh out the risk. Do you want to take that risk of it maybe not doing it, or probably the smart thing to do would just be wait. Or if you're buying a spot position, it doesn't really matter. So yeah, I would definitely consider a spot position right now for CRV here. Kind of got a little bit of a rising wedge though. Maybe we come up, we hit the high, and then we kind of pull back a little bit. We kind of get like a flat in here. I'd like to see that. But if you look at previous examples, they just shoot up quickly. Like, if we look at, I don't know, let's see, QNT. Yeah, you could see QNT, right? This is kind of where CRV is right there. So it pulls back a little bit, it shoots up, and then it comes back and it back tests. And then it goes up. So QNT also looks pretty good. You kind of got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 3 up. You got 3 down. So let's get 5 up. Looking for a retracement for most of these coins. I want to look at silver because I haven't looked at it in a while. Zcash is up 5%. That's interesting. Let's see what's going on here. Whoa. So look at Zcash. Zcash actually broke above its high here. Very impulsive. So if we get a 3-way pullback on Zcash, it might be considered getting here, potentially. And look at that 3-way pullback. I didn't even really note it. Look at this. Boom, boom, boom. That's a beautiful 3-wave structure. And now you got this wave 1 coming in here. Looks pretty good. Anything else up significantly? Except XRP. The DXY is going down. That's good. Look at this. That's exactly what we wanted. Silver is $30, right? And it got up to approximately $34. I got a bunch of silver and I just probably will just hold it forever or pass it on. It's kind of one of those slow movers, very torturous, very painful price action, but it's really a long-term play. I mean, it's been so long. I mean, it's felt like an eternity. And I've been buying silver in 2018 or so, right around in here. And then we had our wave 1. We had an ABC for a wave 2. And then you had a 1-2. And now you're kind of in the middle of this. So it just takes forever to get going. I just don't get it. I mean, the move from the bottom all the way to the top, that was 1993, a year after I was born, all the way up to 2011. I mean, that's a long time. So, yeah. But I will say one thing. This is printing the largest cup and handle in the world in history. This is the largest cup and handle in history. Out of any crypto, out of any coin, out of any stock, out of anything. There's nothing bigger than this. And if there is, maybe you let me know. But this thing is going back all the way to 1980. This is a 40-plus year, a 45-year cup and handle, and it's not even complete yet. This thing could be a 50-year cup and handle, guys. And it could be one of the biggest breakouts we've ever seen. But it'll still take an eternity. And the reason it's taking so long is it's trying to get through these retracement levels. But once it breaks out, I think it can really accelerate. Because you can see right here, right there, right? Once we broke out, it happened pretty fast. Let's see, we broke out in January of 79, and then we topped in January of 80. So it took about a year, and we were hauling butt for 1 year in 1979. So maybe it'll be 2029 when we get that. I don't know. So anyways, stock market, still just doing what it's doing. Gold. Now gold already broke above its cup and handle. That's why I'm not interested in gold. It had a cup, it had a handle, and it broke it. So I don't really care about it. I'd much rather own silver. Alright guys, that'll do it for this video. T-drop. I remember someone saying T-drop. Yeah, it's still, it's still the same. It's forming a base. We have an impulse. Or first of all, we have a base. We have an impulse. We have a retest. And now we're forming another base. And now what we want to do is basically break out. So whenever it wants is whenever it wants, it's just, I think it's just a matter of time. So, in Ethereum, we see a cup, or we see a potential inverse head and shoulders here. I haven't really looked at Ethereum a lot. Let's see. Yeah, we got a three-way pullback. We got an ABC. So, looks good. We got an impulse off the low. But we have to be careful because we don't want this to get rejected in here. Right? So when you break down, you come back up, you retest it as resistance. What needs to happen is we need to get back above. We need to get back over here. Around 400 billion. And others looks okay. Yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, I will catch you guys on the next one. Cheers.